You can make that.
I can't, I'm not gonna make that.
You just made it. You made this one.
No.
You guys can see this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
This 3D is so realistic.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Tavern Talk by Initial Reaction. I am Philip, and joining me this week is Kramer from the radio. I'm sure you've heard him before.
This is the sound of my voice.
Yes, and this is the visual of your face.
The majestic beard. Feels like it needs to be on a quest.
Yeah, well, you know,
As luck would have it.
as like good segue.
Thank you.
This, I mean, you're a pro at those, right? That's what.
That's like. Speaking of segues,
That's a bullet
I'm a pro
point.
at segues.
That's a bullet point on the resume.
Thank you.
It's got to be. But no, I'm sure you've heard Kramer on the radio over the years. Also, Doug Kramer Live is the podcast
Yeah.
right now. You can check that out on all platforms.
Yeah, all platforms and all social media, all that stuff is Doug Kramer Live.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So definitely do that. But thank you for being here this week, man. I appreciate it.
I've been wanting to do this for so many movies.
I know.
So many movies. I've been wanting to be a part of this, and it finally works with something that I love a lot, a good story. I love all things Pixar. And of course, I did not intend to wear a Disney shirt today. Totally wearing a Disney shirt.
You are.
The back of
On
my
brand.
Jeep, it says Walt Life on the back of my Jeep. I'm all in. I go deep on
Yeah.
Disney stuff.
Okay, so obviously this week we're talking about Onward. It is the new Disney Pixar movie. It's directed by Dan Scanlon. He's been at Pixar for a while, worked on a lot of different Pixar stuff. The only other movie he's directed, though, is Monsters University, so the sequel to Monsters, Inc. But this one's definitely a more personal movie. It's about two brothers who lost their dad at a young age and they live in this like alternate reality that used to have real legit magic.
Yeah.
And it's kind of faded. But, you know, on the youngest brother, Ian's 16th birthday, they find out their dad has left behind a spell and they might get to spend one more day with him, but they have to go on this quest to find a gem, and that's all you really need to know.
I didn't get any of that from the movie.
No?
I'm
None?
kidding.
What did you...
Wait, what was I watching?
I wondered why you went in the other theater.
That's
and
weird, yeah. I was like, there's
I was
a
like,
lot.
wait, but we're... No.
Thanos was coming around. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, you know, it's hard because Disney owns everything.
That's
so
true.
You just like it says Disney's on the sign, and you don't know what the rest of the title is. But no, so you know, obviously the bit here is we just walked out of the movie. What is your initial reaction to Disney Pixar's Onward?
On brand, they are incredible with stories. They are the best. Pixar, you know, once it became the merger,
Yeah.
Pixar has taken a great storytelling to another level with Disney.
Yeah.
But aside with being on brand with great story, also sadness of only one parent, which is a theme with a lot of those types of movies.
Yeah.
Does it get you in the feels? Yeah,
Yeah.
it does. But I mean, if you've seen the promos for it, you know exactly part of the parents there.
Right.
Part of the. I saw your dad joke. Do you want to say it?
The dad joke was, you know, he's a half decent guy, which I mean,
it's a solid joke as far as dads go.
it's you know, do you know when jokes become dad jokes?
For me, the creation of my DNA. I don't know about everybody else.
I mean, it's when the punchline becomes apparent.
Yikes.
There's the dad joke.
There it is. I stepped right into that. Wow. I mean, I've been a dad longer, but I
have.
feel like you're the master. Put the
No,
drive
I don't
in.
know if I
Oh,
want to take that.
you should.
Oh no. Okay. Well, anyway, I'll deal with that later internally.
Process.
But yeah, I'll process it. It's gonna be heavy. But no, back to Onward. I promise we'll get on track here. What I was kind of saying was they usually put out one a year. You know, like we get one in usually in the summer, and it kind of like focuses all of its energy on that. But I wondered, like, if this coming out in March, like, I don't know if release dates, how much they actually play in the quality, but, you know, putting something out a little earlier, was this going to be like lesser Pixar?
Right.
But I was pleasantly proven wrong, because it's definitely like one of the most creative and thankfully won another original Pixar movie.
Yeah, there's nothing like it.
Yeah,
I mean, we've seen quest movies, we've seen family movies, we've seen fantasy movies.
Right.
Those are all lumped in, but there's so many little details inside of this that what's make Pixar so amazing at it. I want to find out what all bands were on his jacket, because there's actual bands that are fake bands. I want to find out what those bands are. There's got to be some meanings behind a lot of those inside jokes with all the Easter eggs, but all in all, I was very surprised because I was excited because Tom Holland and Chris Pratt. I was excited, immediately excited, and watching the countdown to it when you find out they started off doing their voiceovers in the same room at the same time. Chris Pratt kept cracking up Tom Holland. They had to separate them.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's great.
Pratt he's great at riffing.
Yeah.
And Tom Holland has to keep an accent the entire time.
Right.
Which this is a completely different accent than Spider-Man. Did you notice that?
That's funny you said that because at the beginning I did notice he was doing a different type of American accent than Peter Parker.
Yes.
Yeah, and I mean I knew Pratt was great at voiceover work from Lego Movie.
I am so pumped up!
I love what he did with Emmett.
He's animated in everything he does to begin with.
Exactly. But that's I'm glad you brought that up. That's funny though. I didn't know because most of the time they do record separate. I feel like so. That's funny that you brought that up.
That allowed them to have some spontaneity, allowed them to have some camaraderie, but it became a problem.
and that kind of works in talking about the movie too because it is about these two brothers who never really knew their dad and have very few memories with their dad. And it is about kind of this quest to try to, see him this, kind of if you could spend one more day with a person, that otherwise you couldn't, who would it be? And obviously for them it's their dad, but it's about them discovering how much they mean to each other, and so that camaraderie really shines through, in the movie in general. So.
Yeah, 100%. As we were watching this movie, I knew I was going to have to talk about it afterwards, but I watched it like you with my family.
Yeah.
So I got to enjoy it on two different ways, and I was trying my best to make sure I pinned up a lot of these thoughts that happened on it. But all in all, it was an incredible journey, and Chris Pratt's character was very Jack Black-esque.
The man ruined that too with a little thing called MTV!
Yeah. It was a great Jack Black character for him. It was School of Rock.
Yeah, it kind of was.
It was very School of Rock. It was very mythical.
Yeah.
I
didn't even think about that, but that's so true.
It was, it was a great story. And when I found out after I'd watched it, the true meaning of where this movie originated from, woof. Because it already got me in my feels when I was watching it. Towards the very end, the climax, it's just getting me. And all of a sudden, there's a couple scenes my 5-year-old had to turn his head. But it's just intensity. It wasn't scary. Just intense.
Yes.
He gets the emotions of things are sometimes too much. Not really jump scares. Just the emotions.
Right.
And this is very emotional. But the actual very end of it got me 100%.
It all came together so nicely. Like everything, the only thing, there's mention of some purple socks, and I was really hoping there'd be a little more to that.
Okay.
To that, remember is the guy when he meets his dad's friend from college.
Oh yeah,
He always wore these purple socks. I was like, oh, what's that gonna come back?
Oh yeah, there's no closure to that.
But
story.
there wasn't any other.
You could see his purple sock when he was walking around with one shoe on.
Maybe
that
was enough. Yeah, I don't know. But everything else, like with the spells and. The dynamic between the brothers, even the mom and like the side quest with her, and the mom is voiced by Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and she has the big Octavia Spencer voice is this scorpion, lion,
winged creature. I'm not a minotaur.
Magnacorn.
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say I feel like I'm butchering that, but maybe
that stung my leg.
Yeah. They were great. Like I enjoyed that too, and sometimes the side quest is kind of just like second rate or whatever, but it complemented it so well. And then of course the visuals, like it just looks amazing. Like it looks like they could have shot this with real cameras.
It's very deep.
Yes,
a lot of depth.
Like especially there's certain shots where he's playing a cassette tape. Mm-hmm. Like it looked like it was.
Oh, and it straight up even had like the old logos of the 90-minute cassette. It wasn't just the regular cassette.
Right.
I know that was that 90-minute cassette. I'm like, oh yeah, that way you can get an album and a half on that one.
Yeah, and it was just like, it looked like it could be a live action shot. Like, just the level of detail in it and the quality of the animation at this point is just unreal. You know, because I mean, it's kind of cartoony, the whole like mythical stuff. As far like
there are some feral unicorns. Of course, it's a cartoon.
Yeah, but like it just like kind of grounded it in a way I didn't really expect. But I mean, that's not, you know, all the technical stuff aside, it's just a really good story, like you're saying,
absolutely.
to get back to that. Like, it's just a solid story. It's a road trip. It's a, you know, as much of an emotional trip as it is, you know, a literal one. So
and coming of age, like, I mean, that even that's in there too. It's great. So I want, because I didn't know the true origins of the story.
Okay.
And that to me, it just made that ending so much better.
Yeah.
So
did we talk about that?
No, we haven't talked about it yet.
So yeah, Dan Scanlon, who's the director, I know we mentioned him, but it's kind of based on him and his brother's experiences. They've lost their dad at a young age, and so I think it's kind of the director's like a movie dedicated to his brother.
Right.
And
his brother didn't know until he watched what the actual story was.
Right.
Can you imagine seeing those key moments, whether it's the cassette or maybe that's where the purple socks come in? Like when you see this and your brother's piece about your family and your father comes to life, that just had to be emotional.
Yeah, especially with like the whole deal with like Pratt's character being looked at as kind of a loser, and like just, you know, someone who's lost his way, has no, you know, ambition or anything. He's kind of just trapped in his own world. And like, just to see like that transform into how vital he really was and how much he actually did was, it was
the checkmark
very
scene.
touching.
The checkmark scene towards the end
Yeah.
is when the emotional level goes to 11 because they're like, oh no, here we go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cry in front of my kids. Oh man.
Yeah, they know exactly what they're doing, but they do it so well. They execute it so well. Like, it's so effective. But yeah, I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Any other thoughts? Anything else that come to mind you wanted to touch on?
No, outside of the fact that when you go into it, don't think you're going to know where it's going to go because it took me in a bunch of different directions, which is what you want in a movie like this. And the fact that all of our families got to enjoy it together on so many different levels, it was very well executed. That's it. It's a great movie.
Yeah, it's. I was gonna say, my 5-year-old daughter saw it as well, and there were a few moments when she was like, "Ooh, I'm scared." Ooh, but that was only like when it would get, you know, a little dark, or you thought it was about to get dark, and then they kind of upend that expectation. So I mean, it's, you know, both of our 5-year-olds saw it, and I think I mean, I think that age.
They only filtered like maybe 3 minutes of it. That's how Daddy filters all scary movies, right through the hands.
Yeah. No. So it was. I mean, definitely solid for the whole family. But here on Tavern Talk, we do out of like 5-star ratings. So if you were to give an initial reaction rating to Onward, what would your 5-star or out of 5-star rating be?
I tried to avoid everything about it after the initial seeing the preview because I knew we were going to do this. So the fact that I happened to see on Disney Plus the the Holland and Chris Pratt thing, I tried to avoid the whole story. So not knowing where I was going with this is pretty close to a 5.
Yeah.
Like it's really a good movie.
Yeah.
It's the kind of movie you can watch more than once. So is there any points? Can I get like a 4.5?
Oh yeah, do whatever you want to.
All right, I'm gonna give it a 4.5 with a drive goes to O.
Yeah. See, I loved all the little creative bits like that. The little, what do they call them, sprites?
Yes.
The bike gang of sprites.
Yeah, it's great. There's so many mythical things that you're going to see inside of it, and some of them don't even need explaining. Some of them you wish they would, which is even better storytelling.
Yeah.
Because it draws you in like, oh no, what's going to happen with this? All of a sudden, boom, you're misdirected to something else.
Yeah. They'll do all the merchandising with that, where you can buy them. I loved like. They kept showing the dragon mural and how that pays off.
Yeah,
like that was fantastic. It was just so creative. Like I just loved it. I'm gonna go a solid 4. Like it's a solid rating for me. Like 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. I loved everything about it. Probably going to watch it at least 6 more times this calendar year because it'll come out on Blu-ray.
Of course.
In the summer, and then we'll have it on rotation through the holidays.
Now I need to go back and watch all the back episodes so I can find out what all ones you gave a 5 to.
Not many.
Okay. Because I'm like, am I just throwing my numbers out there?
No.
It doesn't have.
No, it doesn't have enough of it. The only other movie last week, Invisible Man, was really great. So
Okay.
That's the only one that's even touched a 4.
Didn't see it.
Yeah.
Invisible Man.
And I'm the dad joke king. Yeah. All right. Well, that I think does it for Onward. Thank you once again.
Oh, thank
for
you, man.
being here. I really appreciate you doing this, taking the time to do this. I know it was kind of a late school night, so I appreciate it.
Yeah. Let's see how well they do on their spelling test tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll text you tomorrow and be
Thank
like,
you.
how was it? Was it worth it?
Yes.
But I think Onward was worth it. If you like the review and you think it might be worth it, definitely head out to a movie tavern this weekend. Check out Onward. As always, we want to thank them for letting us watch the movie, shoot the review here. We want to thank you for watching our reviews. We try to post a new review of the biggest release every week, so if you like what you're seeing, hit the subscribe button below, hit the little notification bell so you know when we upload a new video. But other than that, thanks so much. We'll see you next week. Peace. Boom, boom, boom.
It's all right. Let it go on film.
Oh, that was so good. It was very gurgly. Yeah, just so gurgly. Well, it's because I had stranger gum earlier.
I'm trying to think of how
Hashtag stranger gum.
how Barley would word it. Yeah. Came from the depths of
From my loins.
your girthy loins. All right, we good?